Okay, well, we have another story now coming up. And the video that was actually put up for this story was very different because she didn't look at the camera at all. But we saw some lovely trees. Let's welcome Sue and Mark Jordan to the stage. That's your song, is it? Very good. You ready?
No, we're not ready.
Let's push it up and we'll be good till the light comes on. Got to wait for the light. Now we're ready.
Now we're ready.
There you go.
And I have my tissue.
I've got a whole box ready.
Yeah, because ours is a lot more emotional than property.
Okay,
yeah.
So we, in sharing your story, it's about the figures, but it's also about a bigger story, and I think that's really what you want to share today.
Yeah, it's a way bigger story than that.
Okay, so you guys, you say here you've gone from caravan to the coast. What were you doing?
Look, Mark and I came from a very poor money DNA. Everything cost too much money. We couldn't afford that. We couldn't get that. Very much came from a family of lack. Mm-hmm. I was raised on my grandmother's pension. Mm-hmm. Mark's mother died when he was very, very young. And after that, sort of more or less had to raise himself because he had a distant father as well. So, I think that's why we connected as well. I think the universe brought us together. Where I lived when I grew up was in an area that became wealthy. We lived in the boonies, and then people discovered places like Brookfield. Mm-hmm. But we're in not so good originally. You could probably subdivide that block now, but anyway, and make a lot of money. So I grew up with a lot of kids that had holiday homes, and they'd go, "Oh, I've got to go to the holiday house." I go, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, I've got to go to the unit this weekend." I'm like, "What, are you kidding me?" They didn't understand how amazing that was. So my big dream was, a kid, I was going to have a holiday house. And what I could do is I could get a caravan, and for $37 a week, mm-hmm. I could have a caravan on a site.
Right.
I had a holiday home. Mm-hmm. Kevin Doodley made me sell it. Because it was $5,000 negative. I think there was probably 2 weeks of tears when I sold that. But we've moved on from that. People probably know our property because it's there on the right.
Okay. So let's get into the story a little bit. How did we meet? What happened?
Okay. It was one of those things, the universe just... I hadn't seen it, but the bots found you, all right? I walked into the bots, the little boat robots that just pop things up.
Oh, the bots.
Yes, we'd been talking about real estate and how we were going to do this better because we weren't doing it very well. And I popped into Mark's office by chance one day, and I just went, "I love real estate. Sign me up for that." Now, I would not go to an event on Facebook in a million years. Just was never going to happen. It was a Wednesday. It was my favourite gym day, and I went to the Gold Coast. And I got there, and there's all these knowledge source signs and things, and I went, "Oh, God, multi-level marketing. I have missed my favourite gym day."
For multi-level marketing, right.
By morning tea, I was just enthralled. This was for me. I went up to you and said, "You're really good at this." "I think you know what you're talking about." Dip in a bow hold, yeah, right. And by the end of the day, I really wanted it. That was for me. I had to do this. It had become a must in my life, but I couldn't do it without Mark. So I left with I still had that yellow piece of paper. I was so sad, almost in tears, and Michael Dempsey was so beautiful to me, and he said, "Stay connected, stay connected." Now, a thing about being connected there as well was Brad was there that day. And he came up. I thought he was the guy that was going to give out the free steak knives. Because I'm thinking, could she have got a better looking bloke to have made money in real estate? So Brad pops up going, I did this and I went from negative that, and I'm going, seriously? How am I supposed to take you seriously looking at that? But no free steak knives came out, just my yellow piece of paper that I didn't think I could afford at the time. So... and then again, Michael Dempsey was so beautiful to me, and I'll actually go to one-day events just to see Michael. So it was raining the next Thursday, and we went. And Mark said, we're going to make it happen. He said, we will make this happen. So we joined Ultimate, and there was a person there that night. And because the biggest question we had was, why do you have to go to boot camps all the time? Why don't you do it right the first time, Dipna? I could not understand why you had to go to so many boot camps and keep learning. Why don't you just go once and you know it, right? Okay. But there was a person there, and this has stuck with me my whole journey. It said to me, it's about your level of understanding. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of went, huh. Signed up, left, and we've continued to learn.
And how many boot camps have you been to?
5. Less than Neil, but we've done, lots of events as well. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting signing up process.
So your original position was you did have some equity.
Yep, we did.
You had equity there of, nearly $500,000, and you did have some cash flow.
Yeah, well, we kind of had cash flow.
Or is that minus cash flow?
No, yeah, we had a lovely little positively geared property that our accountant made negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Our accountant was 75.
Right.
He was a very good accountant, because when we went and saw him, we said, we've got this positive property, which Sue had picked it up for 130K. It was worth 330. We were renting it for 380 a week.
Good. And
he said, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it, but he made that property negative. Now, we had a lot of trouble.
This is why
cross-securitizing
and
and getting market ready.
Ooh,
yeah.
So
I think there might have been some dodgy
Yes,
business going
I
on
think there may have been. We were trying to explain this to Nicole, and she's just going, oh, and we're going, we know. So, yeah, we had a lovely little positive geared property that just got... It did take us, after joining, a year to get market ready because of the mess.
Power's gone out.
Yeah. So I'll keep talking because I know all
Power's
about me. So we took a year of learning, a lot of learning, working with a strategist and everything like that to untangle this mess that we had. So in that time, I think this is probably going to be the next slide, my mum was really, really sick. She was living in a bad situation. And so what we were doing, because we couldn't really lend anything or we weren't market ready, so we built a bit, saved a bit, built a bit, a granny flat on our PPR.
Okay. Yep.
Now, Mum was in a really bad position. She was very, very ill, and I think she probably only had about 3 years left in her. And now people say to me, how's your mother? And I go, getting younger every day. She's Benjamin Buttoning. I am never going to get any rent for that granny flat.
Sean.
So we built her a little granny flat. Now, although I know granny flats don't increase equity unless you're a builder.
Yeah.
So we did. We've gained about probably cost us $50 to build, and conservatively about $80,000 equity because it's a semi-rural sort of area.
Okay. All right. So what happened after that?
We did a small renovation to the Mouse House, which is a property that I already owned. This particular
and why
house.
Why did you call it the Mouse House?
Because it's tiny. My niece called it the Mouse House. She'd go into it, Auntie Sue, you live in a mouse house. I'm thinking, yeah, that mouse house has bought a couple of properties. Lay off. And it was, look, we'd done a few things badly. We couldn't work out why we weren't making money. We were doing all these flips. Mark was a very high-end builder and, yeah.
As a builder, I specialised in high-end architectural renovations. All my finishes in the lower-end areas, the houses sold quickly.
Yeah, Mark's a bit of a perfectionist like that. So we were sort of doing it all wrong. We didn't understand grid variance analysis. So, but we did keep the Mouse House because, again, I was emotionally attached to that as I was emotionally attached to my caravan. And Kevin Dudney hasn't convinced me to sell that one yet. But it's going to have another life next year. It'll go, because we're pretty good at this 3 and 1 to 4 and 2 now.
Okay, so what happened then?
With the Mouse House?
No, well, what happened after the Mouse
House?
House?
Then we got market ready. No, well, the slide, I need the slide,
It's coming,
man.
it's coming.
My computer had broken down and I was a little bit cranky. And we had that, how you set your intention for the day. And I was there and there was a slide at a boot camp and I went, we're almost market ready. Right, I'm going to find a big house and cutting it up.
And what?
Cutting it up.
Cutting it up, okay.
All right, we need to go forward. So
that's
the Mouse House.
Yep.
That's my mum's granny flat. We call it the chalet.
It looks like a chalet.
It is. Okay, so there's the slide.
I remember that slide.
Yes, you still have it, and every time that slide comes up, I my heart skips a beat because that's my slide. That was
That's
the one.
the one that gave you the idea.
So this house comes up that you can't even see, and there was no internal photos. And Kevin Dudney always used to say to us, buy where you like to holiday. And we'd been to this place a bit lately, and I thought, right, I'm going there. I'm going to buy a big house, I'm going to cut it up. And there was no internal photos. And Mark said, I'm not going to the open house. I said, yes, come on, let's get in the car. We're going to the open house. So everyone in this place, we technically paid $510,000 for an auxiliary dwelling. None of the rest of the house was legal.
Okay.
Didn't even have a habitable kitchen, except in the granny flat. So we cut it up.
But you're married to a builder, so that's no problem.
No, that's right. And we spent $100,000 on it. We've just recently had the depreciation report done. It should have been a $300,000 renovation. So,
That's good. You can still claim it on the depreciation report.
Yeah, it's a dual key with an auxiliary dwelling.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so a bit of renovation going on there. Beautiful purple. What was that?
Oh
used
no,
for?
this is, you might recognise these from some of Mel Gardner's presentations. So with the deal up on the sunny coast, it is a really good deal, and it's $40,000 positive, and I think an uplift of equity of like 250 or something like that. But we made the mistake, Mark did all the work, and lost serviceability. So we sort of had to...
he's busy working on your stuff, not earning enough for serviceability.
When we say we made the mistake, when I did the FISO for the 400th time, over analysing everything, I decided that we could do it if I did all the work.
Yeah.
So I didn't take any of my guys up there.
I'm a
plumbers and
really
sparkies,
good
yes.
TA, but everything is
pretty
heavy.
much did everything there, including hang the gyprock while Sue was buying furniture to furnish it at the same time. But yeah, so a big lesson there. Put a little contingency in, use your guys.
Yeah.
I'm a builder, I should know better.
Yeah. So while we were waiting for our serviceability to come back, we did things which is exchange of services. So Mark had to earn more money. I had to earn more money, which is where the Airbnbs have come into the short-term rental. So I've got the consultancy trust happening. I'm earning money now. Mark's earning money now. So that when we get our tax done, because we've always worked for ourselves, we haven't had PAYE in years, we started doing other jobs. Like the people there in the fluoro, he's a doctor, and they just wanted to buy a house to live in. And their financial controller or financial, guide, whatever guy, told them that property over there would be a really good negatively geared property for them, and we said, no, not on our watch. So we've done a lot of bathrooms. We've added a lot of bathrooms to properties. We've added an extra toilet where we could for people, just guiding people through an exchange of service and just using our education. And the one there with the LJ Hooker sign, that was a guest. And of course, everything turns to property. They were wanting to buy in the area that I manage properties in. They've bought their dream holiday home, and that's lovely because it's really, really nice. It'll probably be rent for about $450, $500 a night. Oh, guess who's managing that next year? So that's going to be a conservative $18,000, and I will not call it passive income because short-term rental is not passive.
No, there's a lot of it.
But that's going to be another. They settled on that now. We're going to do it up over Christmas and get it ready for STR.
Okay, very good.
Which is where the Airbnb comes in.
So you're a super host
Yes.
with Airbnb, which is good. So what are all these pickies?
All right, this is where the magic happens for us. The properties is just property, but this is what's important to me. This is where it's all happened.
See you with the good-looking guy that I had on stage. You didn't want to have a bar on.
No, he was all right. I just thought, he was there to give out the free steak knives. Really, we joined Quantum after our first year in Ultimate. I paid to go to all the extra events, because Mark was the student, but it was important for us to both go.
Yep.
We really wanted Millionaire Within, because that's where we knew it was going to be happening for us, because we'd already signed up with Kevin in the Property Revolution, and he started our mindset journey. And he said, bring me your Monopoly board now and in the future. And the way to get to that future Monopoly board was through the mind.
Yep.
So really wanted to go to Millionaire Within, so we signed up for Quantum. And we were stuck in this community for life. We'd done boot camp. We were never leaving. You were stuck with us. And I remember the first Millionaire Within, which was where I met Mel, and Pip Mackay comes on. And I remember it so clearly. You go, who wants to know their passion and purpose? And I'm going, oh, what? I have to sit through this? Make money in real estate. What is she on about? Can I go to lunch? And then...
I tell you what, there seems to be a pattern recurring here. When you feel objectionary, that's when you need to be there.
I know, because 10 minutes into that, I was bawling my eyes out because I am a creative nurturer on steroids. I was so far, said mark yourself out of 10, and I was like 100 for that. It was wrong, and in the shadow was really bad because when it came to the oracle with the receiver, more tears. There was no receiving in me. I couldn't even take a compliment. I had to start there to learn to receive. So that 2 hours with Pip, which I didn't really think was worth my time, changed my life. Yeah. Absolutely. That's when I knew it was. So from there, we've done Compelling Life. We work in our 6 human needs every day. We have to have, fun, family, fitness, friends, finances, faith. All of those have to be connected with your 6 human needs. And a few years ago, you had to colour in the leaves on that tree of where you were putting your 6 human needs into your 6 Fs, and it was really out of balance. And we did Compelling Life again this year, and I said to Mark, oh, look, the tree's all filled in. And of course, from there, we've gone on, and I'm really not going to cry, we've gone on to Wealth Matrix. That's just such a family. That is a next level. I can't even put into words what that's done for us. Yeah, that's with Brad. And that's where there's so much mind work we've done. But with Brad, oh God, he actually taught me to feel. And I'd missed that connection. Us to the
next level, okay? The confidence you get out of it, like a lot of people have met me in here. I'm not one to get up here and talk, okay? If, with all the deals and stuff we've done, sure, we've made money, we've made a lot of things, but getting our heads right, none of that would have been possible, okay? It gives you the confidence to go and do the stuff, the confidence to talk to other people. That's where you learn. Brad at the Wealth Matrix has elevated me, okay, to be able to say that to you all right? Yeah. So it's very important to us.
Good on you, Mark.
Oh, the rice experiment. I'll be very quick. I did this for you, Dipna. We had, with all our learnings and everything we were doing, we sort of knew that the energy, and you said, at a Millionaire Within, you didn't have any rice experiment photos. So I went home and I thought, I'll do the rice experiment for Dipna. I'll put it up on Facebook.
Good, I've got it now.
That'll be easy, I know, right? Yeah, easy. Not. Talking to the hate rice was one of the most difficult things I've done because my languaging has now changed. Everything about me has changed. And one of my favourite sayings is people only attack about their own insecurities, all right? So when I had to go and be mean to the rice, I found it really difficult. And I kept telling Mark, you've got to be mean to the rice. He goes, oh, I'm not going to be mean to the rice.
I'm a trainer and assessor. I've got to be nice to students, right? I'm not going to be mean to rice and then go and be mean to students.
So because when I had to be mean to the hate rice, all I could hear myself saying was, you're fat, you're ugly, you're no good, you're stupid, nobody likes you. And I'm just going, oh my God, I used to say that to myself every single day. And look what I'm doing to the rice. It lasted 3 weeks because I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't have those words coming out because every time I was saying that to the rice, I remembered how I'd say it to myself.
You were bringing it to yourself.
Yeah. So, but you have your photos now.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay, we've also, a really important thing to us is to remember our milestones. It took me 3 times listening to Kevin talk about milestones to get it. I was a bit of a slow learner there. And now we have this is actually what we call our gratitude board. So has everybody got a vision board? You need a gratitude board because you've got to remember your milestones. So these are some of ours. Obviously, people know that I'm writing my book. The book is written. We're just getting the final bits and pieces. That's not the actual artwork. That's sort of... And we've actually got it called The Ultimate Guide to Short Term. That's for you.
Oh, thank you, Dal.
We really wanted ultimate in the title. So featured in magazines, more education, real estate licence. I now also coach overseas on short-term rental. That was a webinar. I was the Aussie. I'm sure they loved my accent. We got that car not long before Super Conference last year, and we weren't going to tell anyone. Nobody was knowing about this car. until watching all the success stories and celebrating everyone's abundance and celebrating everyone's success. So we said, you know what? We've got a Porsche Boxster. Woo! Go us. But it's not, I'd always had a dream. My dream of a beach house has now come true. I always wanted a convertible car. We cut the roof off a Mini when we were kids to have a bush basher without a roof. So Mark got into the Queensland water skiing team, which was a big dream of his. But
wow, good on you.
It says Aussie ski team.
No,
there. It's Queensland. Right.
Yeah, and with that car, it's not actually about the car. It's about the feel of the car. It's about, so many people in this room have actually driven it because they love it. People love my car. I let them have fun in it. Doesn't bother me, it's insured. I drove, it was not long after I got it, I went to the first Next 10 and I sent Kevin a text of the logo and said, this is now my reality. And it's more the feeling of abundance in that car and what that brings me every day.
Yeah.
So, because someone said, Dippin will be mad at you for buying that. And she goes, no, not when she realises what it means to me. It's an abundance thing.
All right.
Sue manifested.
This is the argument I get from my husband all the time.
And the other thing to us is to have fun. Make sure you're having fun. So there's yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you I had that photo in there, did I? Yeah. So we always had fun, and I know Em's going to kill me, and there's Liam, and I love that photo of Jen. But the connections in this community and the friendships that we have here are so much more important to us than money.
Yeah.
We had fun, even when we were freezing, and if you're going to freeze, wear a robe with bunny ears. I don't know.
May as well, hey. So it's about staying connected for you. That's a big factor.
I bought that first peg in the sand between the first one-day event and the second one-day event. That's why it was signed by you, because we went to the second one-day event where we signed up, and that's when you signed it. A lot of our mindset's been also knowing about your hero's journey. You know, remember, you're all on your hero's journey. And there are many journeys you're on at the one time. You might be on a health and fitness journey, you might be on a property journey, you might be doing something else as well in your life. Your marriage can be a journey just of every day, you know. So remember your hero's journey, and your identity is so important. I've worked on that a lot over the last few years, that your identity is all what I call my I ams. So that's really important. And get your tribe. Your tribe will come. They will just come. You'll just vibrate on the level that they will just come. And they're all here. And we love them. We've got the best tribe ever. And learning to receive. And we've got gas mask here, but it's supposed to be oxygen mask. But that would go through my mind 3, 4, 5 times a day. Oxygen, I know, and my typo. You've got to remember and that's how I have had to learn to receive. Like I said, I started with compliments and worked my way up from there. And I always think, like, if I want to be like Oprah and everybody gets a car, then I have to learn to receive to make the money to be able to give back as much as I want to.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the learnings then have come out of your journey.
Languaging and knowing that I am deserving, because it's my time, guys. Just saying. And yeah, so the key to all that is through your mind. And you were saying this morning, I have actually on my computer, see it, be it, and have it. Every day I visualise. Before I get out of bed every morning, I visualise my day. I visualise who I am. And when I walk my dogs every day in the bush, that's my quiet thinking time. And that's, you know, I've seen myself doing this, you know, that sort of thing. And then be it. You have to be that person, and then you will have it.
And the guys out there that are going, I'm not going to do that, not going to visualise, no, it doesn't work. That's the BS. It works. If you can see it, feel it, and really want it, it's yours. If you think you can do it, don't think, do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? Doing nothing.
Yep.
Move forward. Just take that step. Sure, it's scary. Nothing bad's going to happen, guys. You're going to get through it, and it'll be a good outcome. One way or another, you'll learn from it, or you'll gain from it. Just take that step. Because
one of our favourite ones there is where your focus goes, your clarity will grow and your energy will flow. And then you do become in flow. And one of the ones we also got, not only from Kevin, but also Brad, it's just different languaging. Like, you know, it's all the same rules. And then I can sit there at Millionaire with you and just go, yep, yep, but just different coaches have different languaging. So just divorce the old stories. Divorce your old DNA. I'll say DNA. I use that a bit. Divorce the money DNA that you were born into and marry the new truth.
Our background is very much, you can't have it. Bit of background on me. My father was very big on, if I made something good, he'd bring me down very quickly. All right? So I learnt to, once I figured that out, sky's the limit. There is nothing that will hold you back. Once you can actually see what's holding you back, it's not holding you back anymore.
See, my father was the same with that. Like, as soon as I do really well doing gymnastics or whatever I did, I was told not to show off, which is why I was never going to let anyone know about that car. I was always told to never show off. I get a Porsche Boxster.
So here are your figures.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And when you
Excel,
started, you started there with just under $500,000, but negative cash flow 22, which is not good.
No.
And where you're at, a snapshot in time, is over $1 million, and a positive cash flow there of $71,000.
Yeah. Chaos. And see, with
plus you've got
it's the serviceability that's the big one for us there, getting that serviceability back now so we can go on and not have to use other people's money to do deals and things like that.
And that 76 is from your, where you're
in
managing
the consultancy
other
trust,
people's Airbnb. So
I've got a few of my own, but I
service-based.
manage, And I also train and all that sort of stuff for that as well.
Yeah, very good.
Consultancy trusts, woo!
It's opened the door to a lot of people's ability to be able to move forward. So the future's looking good.
What's in
your future?
awesome. Re-establish serviceability. Yay, go us. After we had our gap year. But we learned a lot of things along the way doing that as well. The current properties are all about to be revalued, so because we didn't really bother to do that because we knew the banks weren't going to
Serviceability.
Yeah.
Yep. But now you're back on track.
Back to doing the renos, the 3 and 1s to the 4 and 2s, using proper grid variance analysis
That'd
tools.
be a good idea.
I know, right? Go,
And the
John
correct
Bone.
finish for the area.
A lot more open homes, not where Mark does the big renos, And from having our friends in the community, we're much more confident now that, when we want to do a commercial deal, we've got friends that can help with that and things like that. I'm going to be so tech savvy. And I've got deals that aren't within my comfort zone, but I have friends that I'll do things with. Like I've got a beautiful friend in Sydney that, we're investigating a few little rooming house type share accommodation things. That's not my deal, but I'll certainly be helping her once we get our equity back and financing. There's the tribe.
There's your tribe, huh?
That's our tribe. Well, some of them I couldn't fit everybody in. But it's just about making connections. And there's a photo there of us having a bad day, and we all got together and drank wine and ate chocolates, and it was all better. and go to events. Continue to go to the events all the time. Make sure you keep your education up. Your reticular activating system.
RAS system?
Will kick in. Once you know what your deal is and what your strategy is going to be and what your comfort level is, you'll be sitting at boot camp going, oh, that's mine. And then you go, oh, that's not for me. You'll just learn it. Subdivisions scare the bejeebers out of me, but I'd rather do a 3 and 1 to a 4 and 2, make the same sort of money, if I got my grid variance right.
Very good. So any advice? What would your advice be to everybody?
Daily rituals. Every morning we do what we call giving, all right? That is just religious to us every morning now. And give to us means gratitude. We live with gratitude every day. We live our identity and we say it out loud, who we are. We have our identity. We visualise not only in the morning but throughout the day, and we energise, whether that's the gym, walking, music, anything like that. Every morning we give, every afternoon and during the day we celebrate and reward effort, which is our care. And that could be remembering to take bags to the supermarket, because that's a big one for me. I remembered bags, right? And do what suits you. You don't have to do what everyone else does. Do what suits you. Like short-term rentals suits me.
Yep.
Sharing houses does not suit me. Creative nurturers cannot run rooming houses. It's just not within our nature. So don't compare yourself to others. Make sure you use your professionals, use your education, revisit, 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 stay connected. Find your tribe, but enjoy it.
One of the biggest things, everyone that's been up here and shared stuff with everyone has said the same thing. It's connection. It's the friendships. Even this weekend, I've met some great people. And there's so many more that I haven't met yet. This community is a safe zone. I grew up in the building industry where you abuse each other for fun at Smoko. You know, you win $50. So is that all? You talk it down. The tall poppy syndrome does not exist in this community. That's what makes it beautiful. I love that. Like, tall poppy syndrome's been there for us all our lives. You build up, you get cut down. No, not in this community. You build up, you keep going.
Yeah.
That is what this is about.
Well, thank you very much, the pair of you, for sharing. You're beautiful. Thanks very much. Well done.